RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. What up? If I can get a sound check, I was fucking with my Bluetooth and shit, setting this up, and every time I do that, I'll be risking having a sound issue. So if I can get a mic check from whoever in here first. Can I get a mic check? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Good, thank you, Angel. Until anybody else get in here, there's just gonna be a conversation between me and Angel. I got to get this out real quick before I get back to work. But I want to talk about real quick the oneness that we have, to try to explain this shit to a degree that that any man or woman that could ever hear me say this will understand that this almost has to be the truth. Some people think that I'm describing God, but I'm not describing a Christian God or a Buddhist God or none of that shit. Well, it might kind of sound like Buddhism to an extent, but what up, Ghost? What up, G Angel? What I want to talk about, the oneness that we all have. Like, I kind of feel sometimes like we are so lost in the division, and there's a division as soon as I'm talking about us and them in regards to government control or any secret society. I have to address the division because the division has put in front of us a task that, even though it's off our soul's journey to ever even have to do battle with any controlling agent, our soul is really reaching for the true freedom so that we can just ponder our own existence. If that's the best we can do, we don't have to understand life, we don't have to understand death, but at least leave me at peace so that I can ponder the shit, so I can figure it out, man. We're so distracted by all of these other battles, man, that we can't just really sit and chill and try to understand what the fuck we're even doing here on a spiritual level. Any spiritual knowledge that you can obtain and try to apply to your life in the midst of all of this chaos and bullshit, man, good for you, man, because I'm trying to do the same thing, and what I know is we got an unnecessary, unbelievably stressful fight on our hands just to be left the fuck alone so I can ask myself, what is life? And whoever you think you are right now, that ain't even who you really is, because it's a bit of who you really are plus the whole bunch of bullshit that you're trying to sweep out of your way so that you can just sit in peace to focus on who the fuck you really are. Like, this shit is crazy. That's why when people say it's a spiritual war, it is literally exactly that. And you don't need to adhere to my form of spirituality or anybody else's for that to be true. This is that bottom line, objective, observable truth. And when I say shit like that, what Jewish man, what follower of the Hindu faith, I don't give a fuck, Christianity, I don't give a fuck what you attach to. When I say that, you gotta go, well, that's actually true. That's exactly right. And this is the hardcore truth, man, is where I love to be at, man. That shit that any man from any faith can dig. If you can dig it at all, then we human. This is where the oneness is at. That type of shit. You want to attach a name and human emotional feelings of disappointment and wrath and vengeance and all this other shit that you find in the Christian God. For example, when you cloud the idea of the oneness that we all supposed to have with a God that's vengeful or that needs violence to propel his plan, such as like a human sacrifice, like the Jesus story, bro, you is losing me, man. That is not where the answer at. All you're doing is pushing me further from my spirituality into some shit that we supposed to be rising above. The vengeance, the being susceptible to flattery like this fucking Christian guy. Come on, bruh. That's as high as I can possibly achieve or to look up to or to set an example for my own spirituality. Is a God that's vengeful and is susceptible to flattery? No. It's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be way better than that shit, bruh. It's got to be way better than that shit. We don't respect a man that says my susceptibility to flattery is going to completely drive everything I do and say to you and about you in the midst of this great power of being your own source of consciousness. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. a jealous God. My God is a jealous God. You hear a Christian say that shit in regards to a Christian giving some kind of credibility or even lending an ear to listen to anybody else's faith. This is where the division at. And people that follow Christianity say that somehow it's still all inclusive because you can be gay or you can be black or white. That's not where the all inclusiveness needs to fucking be, bruh. You're telling me literally that the examination or even lending an ear to the idea of another faith or way of thinking is bad because your God is a jealous God. There's only room for one. Come on, bro. There is only room for one. So when Christianity and other faiths try to say that that we need to get back to God, we need to get back to the understanding, to the awareness, but to get back to something that somehow I am separated from by his fucking plan, because it's all according to his plan, including the bad shit. Be sincere in what it is that you believe, because when you take it seriously, that's what it sounds like. That God needed the tree in Eden to beat the fall of man for it to happen like that so he can bring forth the Jesus. Stop playing. It's all a plan. It can't be out of his control and then you call him top dog, but then there's somebody else to blame for the tree and the snake, but not. Where did this come on, bro? Don't get me fucking started with the Christianity, but this is what I'm trying to say. That division there on a spiritual level can be true. I am not separated from the source to the point that I gotta crawl, beg, cry, and plead for mercy from the source for me being who I am or where I am when I didn't do none of this shit, bro. Who decided to put a consonant in this fucking meat suit and call it Trey? I ain't do none of that shit, bro. I ain't do none of that. I didn't write the code for reality where we at. None of that shit, bro. All that shit sounds strange to me that I can even take blame. I'm supposed to be taking heed to the idea of spiritual growth, take responsibility for my actions. But what I cannot do is be responsible for the human condition, bro. I didn't do that. There's no free will if I'm stuck in whatever time in history that my soul showed up into this meat suit with 23 chromosomes from my father, 23 from my mother. I didn't choose none of that. I didn't choose a time in history or none that I showed up, bro. The idea of free will, like somehow none of that is going to dictate very heavily how I interact with my own awareness and other people. Come on, bro. All that shit is swirling around so much that Christianity and just about every other religion carves it into these narrow lines of thinking to say that certain things are absolute and then say, but you're free to do whatever. Y'all gave me a whole bunch of absolutes, man. And y'all ignoring a whole bunch of other shit. Whatever I am in regards to the source, I am stuck, bruh. Forever and eternally tethered to it. Can't be separated from it. Can't piss it off, can't make it happy. All of that other shit in between what Christianity trying to tell you and all these other religions, that shit sound whack, bro. We are one. The only way you could ever have one and only one and actually honor it when you try to attach that description onto anything, you have to include it all the good, all the bad, and you have to call all of that one thing. It is the all, man. That's how we are one. That's why when we fight each other, it's like, yo, wouldn't it be a more beautiful thing that we reach some harmony, some higher level of vibration where we free ourselves from all of the divisions, rise above all of that to say, once we sweep away that shit that does not matter, the only thing that the human mind could be left to do in all of its potential is ponder the existence. And when we do that, after rising above all this other shit, we will look right at ourselves in the proverbial mirror and say exactly what the fuck it is that's going on in the human experience and what it is that we have to deal with in the idea of the source, the consciousness, where this shit comes from, what it is that this antenna is tapping into. That is something. And whatever that is, it doesn't give a fuck about the black or white shit. It doesn't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. It doesn't give a fuck about the KKK. It thinks that all of that shit is a silly, childish game painted over top of whatever the truth was before we derived any of those things. How could it ever matter in my soul's journey? What Black Lives Matter got to say about nothing? Man, nothing. Because what would my soul be doing had those things that led up to the inception of Black Lives Matter or the whole black struggle? All the things that led up to that is an after effect of the consciousness that was already here. If y'all feel what I'm saying, man, did you know, man, I hope y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. go back to the beginning of the story of the consciousness. Don't drown my awareness of the consciousness in all of these social divisive issues. I don't want to talk about none of that shit, bruh. Where the fuck does my mind go when I went to sleep last night? Where did it go? And I'm not talking, point me to a YouTube video of some scientific study. I'm talking about why the fuck are we not talking about this on a mass scale? What the fuck is going on in the sky? What's underneath in the fucking ground? What's the vibrational thing with the vision that we are technically blind because we see the smallest little sliver of the light spectrum? And we call this a reality that's somehow founded in some kind of truth when we literally blind. The fuck do you know is true if you can't see shit? Stop playing. We don't know what the fuck is going on here. And it should be the top order of fucking business for humanity to come together, stop all that petty shit, and focus on all of that shit and nothing else. Fucking retards. Fucking goofies. Bro. We fucking all this shit up, bro. Whatever we supposed to be doing without these social issues that got us distracted is what we need to be doing. That is what we are ignoring. And we're dropping the ball, fucking it up. Just fucking it up. Get back to the one, yo. You are part of the one, forever tethered to that shit. Separated. Find Christ, find God. You are it. The game wouldn't even be fun if you knew it by default or if you could see yourself completely. The object of the game is to get back to that. The fact that you do not owe your sovereignty to nothing or nobody. I think that it only makes sense when you give the soul the power that it deserves. What you also have to say is maintaining it seems to be the first order of business, because if you give it up to something, especially out of fear or for favor, you lost. I think in your motherfucking death, if you don't have your fucking soul because you gave it up for those things, that's when you come back. If there's any such thing as a reincarnation or a flip, you won't elevate. You're not gonna elevate. You're gonna stay here in that vibration, because I think the true high vibrational thing is when you take on the God image that you're looking for. And when you hear me say that, I want you to imagine what that will visually look like. Doesn't that sound like a high vibration to come from this begging, pleading, sinful fucking bag of fucking blood and pus and meat and bones and shit? If you to take yourself out of that and say that you are much more than the shell, that you are more so the ghost, and you actually believe that without a fear of death and without giving it to any of these social divisive things, I think very literally you identify with it so much that you actually become it. Like you say we do here. If you want to be NBA ball player, go do that. You become that. I think if you want to tap into the true spirituality that's in you that you're looking for, become it. Be the Jesus, bro. If you're constantly looking for it and you think that when you find it, you're going to be in a accepting and expected and joyful position of on your knees, beg, sing, praise, and beg. Man, get the fuck, bro. That sound like hell. That's not where your spirituality at. That's the goal. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's the goal. That you want to be front row to beg and praise something for eternity. Get the fucking fuck. It don't even sound like, with all the human ego, you would think that people would say, no, I want to be more than that. Okay, then, well, then be Jesus. The fuck is you talking about? And then they say that's blasphemy because that's the trick. That's why religion be fucking me up, bro. That's why Christianity and the Bible be fucking me up. It's way better to tell these kids that the story of Jesus was about them and it's up to them to save the fucking world. And if they don't do it, they fuck something up, and better luck next time. Don't that sound way more inspirational than to tell some kids growing up that heaven is what they need to be striving for, hell is what they need to be scared of, and the highest reward will be to go to heaven and praise Jesus forever. These kids won't even sit at Sunday school and be right. Y'all gotta sing to them, give them the fucking coloring books, and taunt them onto the bus with some candy like some fucking kidnappers to get the kids to go listen to the fucking hypnosis. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Get the fuck out of my life with that shit, bro. We better than that. And it just sounds more positive in your life to say that everybody around you is here to try to fulfill the role of Jesus than to look at the next man and say that if you don't believe the book that I believe, you're half a fucking human being and you really don't deserve to be here. That's what these holy books are doing, divisive, just like that. And certain groups of people want to get all mad because you want to say that they're behind some of the fucking control. Motherfucker, when I heard about your religion and said no thank you, I dissed y'all to the fucking dirt with that. I dissed your whole soul's path when I said no thank you to your religion when I became aware of it. You mad that I think I see you someplace and I just keep pointing my finger at y'all? Music industry, politics, the banking system. If you're up there when I'm talking about the people that believe your faith, I'm going to point in your fucking face and go, there you go again. Get the fuck out of here. That's not anti-Semitic, but get the fuck out of my life with that shit. If y'all not trying to tell us that we all got to play that role of Jesus and that's how you make the peace on earth that Jesus is supposed to bring, that according to the story, he can only bring that by force and dominance. To rule over the earth? Are you telling me there's no more free will at that point? Oh, all that shit that y'all said the free will was so important about that God gave me the free will would end when Jesus comes back to rule over the earth in the second coming. Now there is no free will. But y'all said it was very important that he never did that. Man, get the fuck out of my life, bro. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch. Tap into the source, bro. You the one. You the one, man.